You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Elliott scores! Oh, Stevens stepped up, nailed it. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
Alrighty now, what is up, New Jersey? Welcome back to the Locked On Devils podcast here at the Locked On Network. I'm your host, college hockey play announcer, Devils writer, Pucks Pitchforks, and also part-time credential media member, Trey Matthews. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode from earlier today in which I did a collaboration with Joseph Stanislaw, aka Jersey Joe, my colleague over at Pucks and Pitchforks. It's the end of May, so here's a treat for you. Bonus episodes from exit interviews. I hope you guys enjoy some of the sound bites that I will play. Without further ado, let's play today's bonus episode. Take it away.
What do you hope the biggest thing you guys learned about yourselves as a group? For some of the guys, it was an average year for us. What do you hope this group learned from this experience?
I think we got back to the right tracks again. I think we understood in certain stretches and certain games that we can compete with anybody, and I think just about doing it more consistently, and but also understanding throughout the 82 game season, it's not always going to be great. You're going to have stretches, you're going to have tough times, and just even embracing those tough times and coming out on the other side stronger. That's things we learned this year, and I think we got to take that with us.
A lot of your teammates raved about your two-way play, saying that you should be a finalist for the Selke. You've been a finalist before, but this season, have you had any thought of being a finalist again this year, or possibly winning it someday?
I mean, me personally, not really. I'm here just playing for New Jersey, playing for the team, and I don't really. Obviously, it would be a huge honor for me, but I'm not playing for that, so I don't really put too many thoughts into that.
Nico, just first year playing for Sheldon Keefe. Just how was that for you, and maybe how was it different from previous coaches?
It was great. I mean, I think right from the get-go, he set the tone. We were practicing very hard the whole year. He's very detailed, and you know what he expects from you. And I think obviously I've been able to learn a lot of things from him, and I think he has a great hockey mind, and I'm obviously excited to moving forward here.
And a lot of the players gloat about you as a leader. Brett Pesce said, follow you to the end. Just how is that feeling, knowing that veteran guys come in here, and even those guys are looking up to you as the captain?
Feels nice, obviously. I mean, these are the guys you see every day. These are the guys you're out there battling with. I would do exactly the same thing for them. So I'm saying it, they would for me too. It's obviously a good feeling.
Sheldon Keefe talked about how he hasn't given you an easy shift, and how you're doing a lot of things for this team. On a personal level, how would you evaluate your season?
I think you can always be better, but I'm pretty happy about my year. I think that was exactly what I was trying to help my team. I had lots of opportunities doing that. I was taking a lot of D-zone draws. He gave me a lot of responsibility, matching up against big guys out there, and still creating some offense too. So I'm happy about my year. But obviously, I'm still going this summer and try to be a better player next year.
As a Devils captain, do you have a message to the fans?
As a Devils captain?
Captain.
I mean,
to the fans, you are the captain.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for all the Devils fans, I already did a little Instagram with New Jersey, I think. So, I mean, we appreciate their support. I think, obviously, they're probably sad too that we're out, but we gave it all all our heart. Like we gave our best. We did everything we could, and we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be better. And but thank you for the support, and we'll see you guys for sure.
Favorite mem-
Jack down the stretch, obviously, but are you guys communicating a lot still while he's here, maybe not on the ice?
Yeah, I mean he was around definitely for playoffs, and so yeah, we're still in contact.
Favorite memory from the season?
Favorite memory is probably again being back in the playoffs, talking about the fans. I think just seeing them here in Jersey, it's just hits a little different playoff hockey, and especially for the fans too. So,
What are some of your goals next year to take your game to even new heights?
I want to like redo whatever I'm doing. Give the team everything I got on both sides on the ice. Actually, goals I'm not setting myself, so I'm just trying to be the best version of me every day that I can be, and help my team in any way.
What can you say about the way Nemitz came into the lineup in the playoffs and really raised his game?
Yeah, he played great. It's definitely not easy for him, especially like it's not an easy year for him. So coming in and like we needed him to play well, and he did play really well. So for his age, that shows he can be the player. So it was definitely great to see him doing well, and I think we're happy for him as well because he deserved it. Yeah.
He was.
So we've seen from year to year that standard consistently raised, and you guys talk about that bar going higher and higher. Going into this summer, going into next season, what does that look like for you? What that next standard, that next bar has to be for this group?
Going for a run in the playoffs. That's, I mean, you gotta set the bar really high. Like, it's like not a secret that we want to win the cup. So we know it's obviously a long way. It's always 82 games, and you gotta have the bar very high every day. And it starts now already for next year. Like obviously you want to be still in the race, but it's how you go home, how you prepare yourself to be the best version you can be for that team, and that's like raising the bar. And then I think the next step for this team is like having a great year, winning a division, and from there on, like going for a further playoff run, and that's what I'm like looking for, and I think this group is looking forward to that as well.
What can you say about Stefan Nason and what he's brought to the team, both on the ice and in the locker room?
It's been great having him back here, Nace. I mean, obviously, I knew him like when I was like 18, 19, so it's obviously great having him. Like he was able to help me a lot off the ice with setting up things and all that kind of stuff, and obviously on the ice, like he's a competitor. He's not a guy you want to play against. He's very competitive. Obviously makes big goals. Does the dirty work, and it's good to have a guy like that in there.
Any
Jonas just coming back early and having to step into a bigger role there.
Very impressed. I mean, wasn't a light injury he had, so just seeing him like working his ass off to get back, and even like coming back earlier than expected, and first game going to double OT with a demon down, like that stuff is impressive for sure. So that shows what kind of guy he is.
Any big plans this offseason?
What do you mean?
Like working. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I mean, like let me be more specific. Like working out, training, things like that.
I have my workout routine, my skating routine during summer, and I'm pretty happy with my routine, and so I'm just obviously gonna try to like stick to that.
How about a nice vacation?
Vacation definitely. I think summer plans are involved too, like some vacations for sure. But where, what, I don't know yet. But I'll definitely take some time off in the summer a bit too.
How important are those moments, though, after a year like this, to be able to go home? Specifically, for you, like you leave here, you go back home, and you get to reset. What are those moments like for you?
They're great. I mean, I obviously like just when I go home, like I see like being around like family, friends. It just like automatically like recharges my battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, everybody has a home, so I guess like everybody understands. Just going home, like relax a bit, seeing the people that you probably haven't seen in a while, and just also get your mind off hockey a bit, and it's just finding that balance a bit too, and that definitely I need that, and that definitely helps me a lot every summer.
I was gonna say, how does that help you as an athlete? Like, why is that so important for an athlete?
I mean, I think not just for athletes. I think for everybody is like this, like trying to like find this balance. Like it can be. I mean, we're here like obviously for a few months just playing games, like 3 to 4 games every week. So doing that over a whole year, I don't think it would be healthy. So I think just like trying to get away from that a bit and just focus on some other things and just having your head like somewhere else than just hockey. I think it's important. I mean, I can just only speak for me, so it is for me. So that's why I'm always happy to be able to go back to Switzerland. And obviously, like still, I know like it's still hockey because like I'm going to work out there, I'm going to skate, but it's obviously like different without like playing like 3 or 4 games every week.
Will you go to Worlds, or is that up for discussion right now?
Up for discussion, but looks like yes.
And to build off that too, the Four Nations happened. Switzerland obviously wasn't part of it. How frustrating was that, or was it frustrating for you knowing that there was such a high stakes tournament and you weren't able to be a part of it, even though Switzerland has competed at Worlds at such a high level?
I mean, but they made it pretty clear, like they'll have a player from the NHL, and like as much as I would like to, but we do not have enough players yet to make a full squad. But hopefully one day, and it would be obviously fun to see compare like the best Swiss group we can have against obviously unbelievable teams that we saw in the Four Nations.
Before we continue with today's bonus episode, let me tell you guys about FanDuel. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. I said it in the episode earlier, but I am rather high on OKC. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to lead them to the promised land, something that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook failed to do. New to FanDuel, it's a perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook betting partner of the NBA. Please remember to always gamble responsibly. All right, let's get back to today's bonus episode. Take it away once again.
You want to take that next step?
Yeah, like if we're being honest here, as a team, as an organization, we just had an average year. Making the playoffs should be, expected for our group, and losing first round in 5 is, it's not what we want. So, I'd call it an average year.
In saying that, what are sort of the things that you hope that this group learned about themselves going through what you're calling an average year, and what it takes maybe?
Yeah, well, it's so fresh still in mind that, there's a lot of reflecting for everyone to do here. First and foremost, we need to get better, as individuals and collectively as a group. If it's personnel or whatnot, that's obviously, those are, Fitzy and their decisions, and I'm sure they're going to do, their best and, putting the best team that they can on the ice for next season. And just that's kind of the bottom line is get better as individual, get better as a group, because, we're not there. And, the goal is always to win the Stanley Cup. And we just falling short. So that's just the bottom line is we need to get better as a group.
Can you speak to maybe what you saw from this group after that Christmas break? Because you guys went into that break with so much positive momentum, the way you guys were playing, and then it just sort of seemed to be gone after that.
Yeah, that was probably our best stretch, obviously, going into that. But we struggled with team consistency, I think, all year. You know, we talked about it throughout the year that we didn't, you know, we won 3 games in a row, but we just couldn't get that fourth. And, you know, we'd play, you know, 3 good games and then just collapse. And it's just like, why does that keep happening? And, you know, the reasoning behind that, those are the reflecting points, you know, and those are areas of, you know, that we need to do a lot of reflecting on. It's like, what's going on and why can't we, you know, string together wins and because that's what the best teams do is, you know, you look around and, you know, there's 5 to 10 game winning streaks and that's just yeah, just like I said, just need to be better.
From a personal standpoint, how would you assess your season, your like in terms of impact and things like that?
Yeah, I think overall a pretty good start to the season, and then I had a really tough stretch, like everyone knows there, you know, production wise, but you know, then you know, it's not always about production, you know. In my role, you know, it's not counted on as much as, you know, some other guys, but then, you know, on the other side of the puck, you know, defensively, you know, that wasn't really where I was at my best either. So tough stretch, but I'm real happy and proud of how I was able to finish, you know, after the trade deadline and, you know, changing positions a little bit and getting kind of sort of a fresh start there. I was able to integrate, you know, different, you know, things into my game that weren't seen in that stretch and overall finish strong and try to play my heart out in playoffs.
A couple seasons ago, you talked about the camaraderie you felt in the locker room. Can you speak on it a little bit more in the present moment and how it's grown now that you've been here for a couple more seasons?
Yeah, I still feel the same way. You know, we added new guys, and you know, it's funny the other day looking at that, you know, MetLife Stadium picture. You know, 10 guys from that picture are gone, and so it's a lot. It's almost half a team. So, you know, with the new guys coming in and all that, they fit in perfectly, in my opinion. And we're still that tight knit group, and that's a positive. You know, it's a bunch of good guys in the locker room that get along and care about each other and care about, you know, care about the New Jersey Devils and winning. So that's a staple, and that's, you know, where you want to be. So now just gotta pick up bits and pieces and get better, like I said, in certain areas and as individuals and put it all together. And I think we'll have something special.
What was your
finish? And even Connor mentioned like how you were a different player down the stretch. Just what changed for you?
Good question. I don't know. It's just, you know, when you get into these things as an athlete where you're kind of in a funk and you just can't find yourself out, sometimes you can dig your way out quicker. Sometimes you just, you know, keep going down and it's hard to get out. So, you know, I had that injury that was a high ankle sprain that took, you know, 5 weeks or so. Kind of, you know, still feel it a little bit, and those are, you know, can be annoying, but I don't know, just, you know, getting moved to the wing and just playing with different guys, just kind of, it was sort of a fresh start, and then you know, I was able to get a lot out of myself after that, and you know, if it was 20 plus games, finish the season in the playoffs, I think I was a pretty impactful player for the team, and especially, you know, losing a guy like Jack, you know, you have to step up your game because how are you gonna replace that? You can't. So, like I said, I'm proud of and happy with how I finished.
And just, you know, your first year under Sheldon Keefe, how did you assess that season, your first season with him?
Yeah, I think it was, you know, progress. That's probably the word I would use. You know, you start. I missed most of the training camp. I don't know. It was like Sunday. I think we started on Wednesday, but the Sunday before it, I had fever for 8 days. I ended up fainting at my own house. I don't know like what that was. It was kind of scary, kind of crazy. So, you know, you put all that work into summer, then you have a fever for 8 days. You know, you lose 10 plus pounds, and you know, feel like garbage, pretty much. I don't know. Then you kind of pick up bits and pieces from there. like I said, I'm still happy with my start, and yeah, with new coaches, it's for him, for me, for every individual, it's you just you want progress, you get to know each other better, and so overall, just happy with how things finished and ended.
I'm just curious in that playoff series, as guys keep going down, obviously there's a ton of diversity there. Did you learn anything about any of the guys in your room with guys playing like 30, 35, 40 minutes in some of these games, and just kind of the way guys dug in, even if it didn't end up losing it away?
Yeah, I mean, I think the season that Nico had this year was incredible, and in the playoffs, just the load that he carried all year long, taking so many faceoffs, playing against the best teams. I don't know how he's not a Selke finalist, in my opinion. He had a phenomenal season, phenomenal playoff. He wears a C for a reason, and I think he really showed, what he's all about this year. And yeah, it was fun to watch, and hopefully, I still see him as young too. So I think he's just hitting his prime, so that's exciting for us, and so. But yeah, guys grind. I think, Dumo came in. He was a huge piece for us in the playoffs too, logging minutes. D going down, stepping in. I thought he was awesome. Just overall, I mean, not an ideal situation, losing 3 out of your, top 60. Sigi coming back after injury, playing well. It's not easy. The first couple overtime games, first game, so that was an impressive way to come in. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot of positives, and I feel like guys stepped up, and yeah.
Favorite memory from this season?
What's that?
Favorite memory from this season?
Well, we had a lot of fun in Prague, so that was a great way to kick off the season. A lot of guys, being out, but I think we fought hard, and obviously this is kind of a tough day, always like at the end of it when you exit the playoffs. But there's a lot to build on. Hopefully everybody will get ready and come back stronger.
How do you assess your season on a personal level?
Well, tough. Definitely play a different role that I used to. The role of our line was not to be productive, but to help the team gain momentum. So something very new for me, but for this team, I accepted, and I just wanted to do as much as I can to help them to win games and then get to the playoff.
And how was your first season under Sheldon Keefe?
Good. I mean, obviously new coach, new system, so it was something what we worked since camp, and I think as a team we handle it well. I think we're structured. So it's now up to both coaches and players to be better and come back stronger.
You know that you're a tremendous teammate. Was it hard to accept the role that you had, or did it take you time to accept and embrace that?
It was challenging for sure, but for this group, I was willing to do it with no problem. Obviously, lots of friends. I do really like it here, and that's why I came back and try to help the team, and I was okay doing it. Like, it's not my preference, but for a team and for able to win and get to the playoffs, I was going to do it.
Cox said that his favorite memory was how many times he beat you in soccer. I want you to confirm or deny if he's telling the truth or not.
Well, what do you think? You saw him play soccer.
I'm going to say deny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he should work on the soccer skills in the summer, and I hope he's going to improve.
Favorite memory from this season?
Favorite memory? One of the best is probably the double OT, goal by Shimon. I was extremely happy for him. He played great, and to see him, to score that goal at that young age in such an important moment was awesome.
Mentioning, Simone Nemec, you've been with him through the Olympics and such. What have you seen out of his growth?
Well, like in the playoff, he played great. With the more time, and the opportunity he got, he grabbed it, and he was a great help for us, in the playoff, and again showed a lot of promise. And like I said, to score that big goal, I'm sure that was a big confidence booster for him as well. And I think if he works hard, there's a bright future for him for sure.
and you're a pending free agent. Is there any thought to want to come back here and have those discussions begun?
Yeah, I know it's too early. We basically just ended the season. I don't really know what the future holds for me too. So I have to make some decisions, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Are you planning on going to Worlds?
Unfortunately, I can't. I have to be here for family matters till end of the May. So I'm going to stick around here.
And in a similar notion, how are you looking forward to the Olympics? Is that something you really have on your mind right now?
Yeah, for sure. Super exciting. The last Olympics where the NHL players participated was Sochi, and I enjoyed that a lot. So that's definitely something what gets the motor going and keep playing. To have that experience again with Team Slovakia. I'm really looking forward. Obviously, there's no guarantees like you're gonna make a team, so we have to work hard, prepare, and I think a lot of the NHL guys are super excited for it.
I asked Stefan this question, but obviously this is your second tenure with New Jersey. Has it lived up to your expectations in terms of the environment, the atmosphere, all that?
Yeah, like I mentioned, for me to come back here, I was extremely excited. I enjoyed my time here in Jersey, and after a disappointing season, I wanted to come back, and I think this team should make a playoff. That's a no-brainer, and that was the mindset. Me coming back here to do everything I can, to help the team to get there. And obviously in play, we never know what can happen. I mean, I think this team is built now even to go further than where we ended. But that's something what comes with experience, and I think this team has the talent and potential to get further for sure.
Thanks, Steph.
Thank you, guys.